Hey guys, it's the Diamond coming here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to drive a manual transmission car. Now, if you clicked on this video thinking it was going to be a joke, like some funny video, no, I'm actually, me as a 12-year-old, going to teach you how to drive a manual transmission car. Now, one, I do not have a real car, or I do, but it's an automatic. It's a 1984 Ford F-150. And two, I don't have my driver's license. Obviously, I'm 12. You got to be 16 to drive here in the United States. But, you know, I've been driving stick for over a year now, and I think I've perfected it enough to share my skill. This is going to be a very informational video. It's going to bring you through all the parts and the differences between an automatic and manual vehicle and the do's and don'ts of a manual. Let's get on with the parts of a manual that differentiate it from an automatic. So, first off, I want to apologize for all the grainy video. That's just because I don't have good lighting in here since this is not my filming studio. So, the first thing, if you hop into a manual transmission car, you're going to notice this. Or it's going to look something similar to this. Maybe it has a boot, but the shift knob is typically going to be rounded. So, next up, which is either going to be maybe the fourth pedal down here, or, and most commonly in cars, in some trucks, is this. Now, it's not going to look quite like this, since this is a hydro e-brake, but it's basically your handbrake. Now, you're going to want to engage this every time you plan on exiting the vehicle or sitting for a long period of time. So, it's typically going to be located right here. You're going to have to press down a button and pull it up. It should make a click like, and then you can let off the button, and it should stay in place, and your car should not roll, and you can then put it in neutral. So now let's talk about the pattern. And what the pattern is, well, first off, you need to know what speed your car is. In this case, my car is a 5-speed. It's a little Ibishu Corvette, or really a Honda Civic, but for copyright reasons in this game, it's called an Ibishu Corvette. So basically, in most cars, this counts for right-hand drive and left-hand drive, and these instructions mainly count for right-hand drive or left-hand drive. So in cars like the Ferrari F40, you know, it's all the way to the left and up. That's reverse, but that's highly unlikely that you're going to be in a Ferrari F40 just because it is a like over $1 million car. So in pretty much every single car, it's all the way to the left and up, and that's first gear. Then all the way back, second gear, and then usually in the middle, like if you let it go, just spring to the middle and up, that's third. Go back is fourth, right here, fifth, sixth, and if you're in like a newer Porsche or like a Corvette Stingray, all the way to the right and up is seventh. Now, reverse is kind of a tricky one because in some cars, it's all the way to the right and up. In some cars, and in my case, it's all the way to the right and down. Some cars, you gotta push it down, and it's all the way to the left and up. Some cars, like the Ford GT, it's all the way to the left. And apparently, to some unnamed YouTuber, it's really hard to get into reverse. So that is basically the pattern. So now let's get to the pedal bay area and show you the new pedal that you have probably noticed right off the bat if you're in a manual transmission car. So in every single manual transmission car, for the most part, you know, if you're in like an old car, some clutchless manuals, I think they're a thing, I don't really know, I just saw like a blog post about it. So you're gonna notice in your normal automatic car, to the right is gas, then to the left of that is brake. So that's in a normal car. But in a manual car, you have this other pedal. Now in some cars, yes, it is the e-brake, but you know, it'll be clearly labeled and it'll have like a different kind of foot pad or pedal itself. So basically what this does is it disengages your engine so your transmission can shift without grinding gears. So benefits to a manual are that, you know, maintenance costs will go down, there's going to be less moving parts, and you know, that's one really good reason to buy a manual, other than you're more connected to your car and you decide when it shifts. You know, some DCT cars, if you hit rev limiter for too long, you know, just shift by itself. This is pure, you can bounce off the rev limiter as long as you like. So let's explain how to use these pedals in the proper way in a manual transmission. At all times when you're shifting or when you're just beginning, I would just recommend just holding the clutch, letting it go. Like when you're shifting, that also known as granny shifting. If you want some more advanced techniques, you can do what's called double clutching. And so you go to neutral, you let off, you press back in, you shift, and that's called double clutching. It basically prolongs the life of your manual transmission. Speaking of prolonging the life of your transmission, I'm going to show you one more way that's very easy. But first, before we get into more advanced techniques, I want to teach you guys the basics. So first, to start your car, you're going to want to make sure you're in neutral with your handbrake pulled up. Mine just goes back, so we're just going to pretend like I have my parking brake on. And one other tip, you're going to want to be on a level surface for this because hill starts are a little bit more difficult. So you're going to want to press in the clutch, and your clutch is going to be all the way to the left, and it's probably going to have a farther travel. Like this is just like a simulator, so it's not as far as the gas or brake. So you're going to want to push in your clutch, then turn the ignition. So there you can see my car has turned on, so we'll make sure we're neutral. Then we can let off the clutch. Just going to let our car warm up a little bit because, you know, okay, I think we're fine because I've driven this car around, so it's a little bit warm. So pressing the clutch, and then wherever first is in your car is probably all the way to the left and up. You're going to want to go in that position. So now, if you tap the accelerator, you're going to notice your car revs. So what I want you to do is just very easily tap on the accelerator and then just let out the clutch. And then just do that, pressing the clutch, come to a complete stop, nice and easy. And then just try that one more time. Pressing the clutch, come to a nice stop. Okay, so very simply, foot on the clutch. So right there, just shifted. You probably heard it. So let me show you how to shift. Now when you're shifting, you may have heard some other people tell you to do this. So pressing the clutch, take off like you've been taught. So when you get to 2,500 to 3,000 RPMs, you're gonna want to, look into shifting. So how you do that, or basically the granny shift or the beginner technique, is just pressing the clutch, shift to your next gear, let off the clutch, pressing the gas, and so then you can accelerate some more, and then just do that again, roll through your gears. So when you want to downshift, basically the same principle. Like right now I'm bogging, I'm going to stall, let off the clutch. Now I need to go down 2 gears to 3rd, I was in 5th, so you just do that. You can drive. Then what if you need to make an emergency stop? So, you're cruising at about 55 miles an hour and then suddenly you see a deer. Now what you do not want to do is just slam on the brakes because that will lock up your rear tires. That could risk you spinning out. So if you need to make any emergency stop, like right here, emergency stop, you want to always press in the clutch so it disconnects your engine from your spinning wheels, so your wheels can spin freely. So if you notice when you're going along and you press in your clutch, you can free rev your car as long as you want. So you're going to want to make sure you do not press the clutch and while you're pressing the gas. And if you just have it in a little bit, you may be like, oh, it's not doing anything to my car. Actually, yes it is. It's causing excessive wear to your clutch. Can cost up to $2,000 to rebuild. I don't know why I'm driving on the wrong side of the road here, but so next up I want to teach you guys a more advanced technique. I just did it there, so let's go to 4th and then do that technique. So that is called rev matching or heel and toe. Now is really left side of your foot, right side of your foot, but heel toe, really sounds a lot better. So I gotta downshift all the way a second. This 1.5 liter inline 4 isn't producing a lot of power here. So what this is used for is when you want to downshift while you're, braking. So this is used in regular driving as well as on the track by professional race car drivers. So you're just going to want to brake, pressing the clutch, downshift, blip the throttle a little bit. And so I did that really slow, so it went down because I have a heavy flywheel. So say you're in like third, or say you're in fourth, I'm in fourth. You're gonna just want to press the clutch, blip the throttle. So if you watch my tachometer, which is my left needle, I'm pressing the clutch, blip the throttle. So a real life example of this concept is when you're, dribbling a basketball, and say you just let it drop, or you give it a little bit of bounce, and you just let it smack your hand. That's gonna hurt, right? Then if you moved your hand up with the basketball to kind of meet the speed of the basketball, so you don't just have kind of a head-on collision, you kind of like, you know what I'm talking about, right? So that is like the principle of why you should do this. And now there's other videos. This isn't how to heel toe. I may do with that video, but this is how to drive a stick shift. So I think I've pretty much covered everything you need to know about driving stick. So if you guys did like this video, please be sure to give it a huge thumbs up. I imagine it took a long time to make because I made a lot of mistakes. So I hope you like this. Once again, I'm 12. I like to think it's a pretty rare thing for even most adults to know how to drive stick nowadays. So for like a 12-year-old kid to know, that's pretty good. So I hope I can help a lot of people out. I kind of went into detail a lot. So I kind of went into detail a lot. I hope you guys didn't mind that. That's just what I do. When I make a video, I want to make it detailed. So I guess I'm just going to end it here. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. As always, it's the Diamond Company. Stay frosty.